What's up? This is Release Rotation. I'm your host, John W. Snyder. Today, we are talking March Madness. We're going to talk some NBA. That might be it. It's basketball. The Masters is coming up, but we're far enough away. I'm not going to get into that yet. And so, March Madness, the first two rounds are over. It's more like March Sadness. Every time I fill out a bracket, I entered a bracket pool, whatever you want to call it. And I picked Louisville to beat Clemson in the very first game. And of course, I was wrong. I missed the very first game. My champion is still in it. And all four of my Final Fours. I actually haven't looked at my Elite Eight to see who's left. I think I had St. John's going to the Elite Eight. Thought they'd be better. But I do have all four of the number one seeds in the Final Four, in my Final Four that I picked. So, Florida, Houston, Duke, and I went blank. Florida, Houston, Duke, wow. Auburn, that was rough. So, that's who I have in my Final Four. I have Florida winning it all. I think they started playing the best at the end of the season. But man, Duke looks tough. I can see Duke winning it. But that's what I have. I have Florida winning it. We'll see. There's a lot of basketball left. Sweet 16 tips off tonight. There are 4 games tonight. Let's talk about those 4 games briefly. Alabama takes on BYU. Alabama is favored in that game by 4.5. They're the 2 seed playing the 6 seed. I'm a Big 12 guy, so I want BYU to win that game. I hope they can beat Alabama. The next one is, and that game's in New Jersey, so I don't feel like anyone really has home court advantage in that game. And then we have Florida, Maryland, and that game's in San Francisco. So I think I had Maryland getting beat in the first round. And now they're in the Sweet 16. So there's another one I picked wrong, obviously. Florida's only favored by 6.5. Maybe I'm crazy. Maybe because, let's be honest, too, I haven't watched Maryland play up until the tournament all season. So also why I just don't see them winning. And they won on a questionable no call last week at the buzzer. So I don't know. They said they didn't call it a travel. Did he take 3 steps? It looked like it. Had he gathered the ball before he took that first step? I don't know. I'm kind of glad they just let it play out because it wasn't an obvious travel, obviously, because people are discussing it or were discussing it. And so, was it a travel? Was it not? I'm going to go with not because they didn't call it and they hit the buzzer beater to win it. So, I give them props for that. I like that the refs let it play out. So, that's that. Florida, though, I think they win tonight. I think I don't gamble at all on sports because I would lose every single time. But Florida being favored by 6.5, I think they win by 10 or more. I don't think it's a close game in that regard. But again, don't take my advice because I have no clue. And every time I pick something like this and say, Florida by 10, they're going to win by 2 or they're going to lose. That's how it always goes. Arizona Duke. I love that game tonight. I grew up a huge Duke fan. I loved the 91-92 teams, Bobby Hurley, Grant Hill, Leitner. Like, that's when I became a huge basketball fan. When Leitner hit that buzzer beater over Kentucky in the Final Four and became a Duke fan. I love Coach K. I love that program. I was a huge Wojo fan when he played there. But I also loved Arizona. Lute Olson was an unbelievable coach. I know obviously he's not there now. And Coach K's not at Duke anymore. And like I said before, I'm a Big 12 fan, Big 12 guy. It's Arizona's first year in the Big 12. They were great in the Pac-12. I don't know how well they match up against Duke, though. Duke is favored by 9.5 in that game. So maybe that's what the bettors are thinking with the Florida-Maryland game. The fact that Florida's only favored by 6.5, and it's both a 1 versus 4 game. But Duke by 9.5? Okay, sure. I think Duke wins. I don't know by how much, but I like that game. That should be a fun game to watch. And I mean, my team's Oklahoma State. Obviously, we're not in it. We won 2 games in the NIT or 1 game in the NIT, and we're not in this tournament, so I don't really have a dog in this fight. I just want close games. I don't want blowouts the rest of the way. I want every game to be decided by less than 5 points. That sounds fun as a basketball fan. So I want to see that. Then we have Arkansas, Texas Tech to end the night. Texas Tech is favored by 5.5. It's a 3 versus a 10 seed. Arkansas, they upset Kansas, and then they won their last game against, who did they play? St. John's. So I had St. John's beating Kansas, I think. Man, my bracket shot. So Texas Tech, Arkansas, I have a soft spot for Arkansas. Eddie Sutton, coach there, who was later at Oklahoma State, took Oklahoma State to the Final Four when I was a student there. So I have those ties to Arkansas. I have an uncle who worked at the University of Arkansas for a while in the campus police department. And he actually got me, where is it? I know it's behind me somewhere. This ball right here. Love this thing. Nolan Richardson signed this for me. Obviously was a great coach at Arkansas and won a national championship at Arkansas. So I have a soft spot for the Hogs. Woo Pig Suey. I'm not calling the Hogs. I'm going to let my buddy David Irons do that. Hey, Siri, I'm not talking to you. Anyways, Siri just decided to butt into this podcast. So Hogs tonight. Again, I'm not a Texas Tech fan at all. I'm a Big 12 fan. I want Arkansas to win this game, though. I want Arkansas to upset Texas Tech. I love the run they're on. And they're a 10 seed. We haven't had any Cinderellas. And I can't really consider Arkansas. I mean, they are a 10 seed, but they have John Calipari as their head coach. He was at Kentucky, came to Arkansas. So, I mean, he's been there. He's won. It's been a while, but he's won a championship or 2 or 3. I don't know. I think 2 maybe. 3. I don't know. But I like Arkansas in this game. I want them to win. And speaking of Cinderellas and upsets and all of that, we haven't had that this year. All these teams that are left in the Sweet 16, I think like half of them have been to the Final Four. And so there's not really, the 10 seed is the highest seed. And then after that, you've got BYU as a 6 seed. You've got some 4 seeds, obviously all the 1s. How many 2s are left? 1, 2, 3. 3 2 seeds are left. You've got a 5 seed, 4 seeds, 3 seeds, 6 seed. So there's not a team making a run this season. And a lot of people I've seen have blamed that on NIL. And maybe that's why. Maybe it's not because of, these schools that are left can pay players more. Maybe that's the deal. Maybe it's just a off season, a random season, but I don't know. I don't know what the answer is. I don't know what that looks like. I don't know if NIL is to blame or if that's just how the cookie crumbled this season. Is that how you say that? Is that how you use that phrase? And that's where we're at. So, these are the Sweet 16 teams. They're all from a power conference, right? BYU, Alabama, Maryland, Florida, Arizona, Duke, Arkansas, Texas Tech. That's tonight. And then tomorrow you got Ole Miss, Michigan State, Kentucky, Tennessee, Michigan, Auburn, Purdue, Houston. There's no mid-major left. And so, there's people out there saying NIL is to blame for that. Maybe it is, maybe it isn't. I'm hoping this is just an off year and that next year the tournament corrects itself and we get a couple mid-majors in the Sweet 16. So, no matter what, though, it's good basketball. It's been good basketball. It's going to continue to be basketball through the national championship. So, can't complain there. It's just interesting to see who's left and where these teams are from that are left. So, there's that. March Madness, fully in it. Good games tonight, good games tomorrow. Let's move on to NBA. Let's talk about the drama between Stephen A. Smith and LeBron. I think it's hilarious. I can't stand either guy. I think they both just talk too much, and I wish they both would just shut up. about it. I don't know if you've seen it, whatever, but obviously Stephen A. Smith has said things about Bronny, which, I mean, I feel like probably every talking head on TV has said something in those regards about Bronny and how he ended up on the Lakers. Whether you agree with it or not, LeBron got his son to the Lakers. Kind of cool. If you're a dad and you're a son, you get to play in the NBA with your dad. It's pretty cool. Whether you agree with it or not, like, that's awesome. How it all happened, whatever. But then I get, a couple weeks ago, LeBron confronted Stephen A. Smith on the sidelines at a Lakers game, and it was awkward and weird and whatever. LeBron telling Stephen A. Smith, stay out of it. Don't talk about his son anymore as dad, whatever, blah, blah, blah. And then Stephen A. Smith, it just hasn't died. Stephen A. Smith comes back and says stuff, and it is what it is. It's been great entertainment, that's for sure. But I just wish both of them would just shut up and move on because, it's already over. Bronny's on the Lakers. That's where we're at right now. And so Stephen A. Smith and everyone else, just, it is what it is. Bronny is not, starting for the Lakers. He's playing a lot of G League games. Is he going to be a great NBA player? I have no idea. He's putting up good numbers in the G League. And so that's great. But who knows? We'll let it play out. But just the drama between LeBron and Stephen A. Smith is hilarious and weird and whatever. It's whatever. But, the bigger news, obviously, is my Oklahoma City Thunder, the number 1 seed. They've clinched the number 1 seed in the West. There's, I think, 10 games left still. We can look at the standings real quick. 58-14. Yep. That puts them at 72 games. They play 82 games. 10 games left, basically, in the regular season. And so the West is wild. The wild, wild West. The Thunder, though, are up 13.5 games over the number 2 seed, which is the Houston Rockets. And so that's, a big gap. That's why they've already clinched the number 1 seed. And then the Cavs are up on the Celtics, only 4.5 games. So a little tighter in the East. The 6th seed in the East is 18 games behind, where the 6th seed in the West is 19 games behind. It's just that big gap between Oklahoma City and the Rockets at 1 and 2. And then it kind of evens out from there. But 10 games left. I got my concerns about Oklahoma City in the sense, not really concerns. I mean, if they're going to win it, I mean, this year they could do it. And, I've heard, they need a couple more years. Why? Why do they need a couple more years? They've been dominating. They've lost 12 games this year. They've lost 12 games. That's incredible. Incredible. And so they could win it this year. The Cavs could win it this year. The Celtics could win it again this year. I don't think the Rockets can win it. The Nuggets, they've been there. The Lakers, now with LeBron and Luka together, they can all stay healthy. They could win it. Golden State, since they made that trade for Jimmy Butler, they've been coming on strong. And so, they could win. They could still win it. They've been there. So I think it's pretty wide open this year. I'm also downplaying it a little bit. I don't want to say there's a team that just stands out above the rest, even though I would like to say it's the Thunder. But the thing that concerns me is they've been up huge on teams and they've let teams back into it. And so that concerns me a little bit, is just letting their foot off the gas in the fourth quarter. And maybe that's a regular season thing. Playoffs are different. So maybe that will change once the playoffs begin and they won't let their foot off the gas and they'll dominate. Who knows? But I like where this season has been for the Thunder, especially considering early on, Chet was out with a broken hip for a while. Hartenstein was out for a while. J-Dub is out right now. Jalen Williams, he's out right now. And, they're going to rest him before the playoffs. Well, not rest him. I mean, he's hurt, but hopefully he gets back. I'm not sure when he's supposed to be back exactly, but would love to have him back to get some reps in before the playoffs. And so trying to see Oklahoma City, Memphis at Oklahoma City tonight. I don't know who's been ruled out. Jalen Williams is a game time decision, so Wiggins is out. Cason Wallace is a game time decision, so we're pretty healthy other than Jalen Williams. And I also not sure how I feel about Chet sitting out games. I have no idea what's going on, or I don't obviously work for an NBA team. I'm sure obviously there's reasons behind it. I want him to be healthy. And so if he's sitting out games because his hip hurts after the fracture or whatever, or they're just being cautious. I mean, we're up. I mean, we've already clinched the 1 seed and already home court advantage through the playoffs. So are they resting him just to rest him, or does he need the rest? But I just get concerned about not getting reps in again before the playoffs. And so I'm hoping to see him maybe not sit out another game until the playoffs. But I don't know for sure if that's going to happen or what's going to happen there. But again, I don't work for an NBA team, so I don't understand the reasoning, and I'm sure there is a reason. That's that. That is basketball. I talked a lot of basketball. I rambled. I haven't done a podcast episode in a while. I need to try to do these more and more often to get more and more content out there, because I like to talk basketball, and that's where I'm at right now in this journey. Good games tonight. Hope you get to watch some basketball. Be good, do good. Have a great Thursday. See ya.